Coon Busters. This is Dr. Randy Short. It's 10:35 p.m. on the 18th of January 2021. And I'm just here. I didn't plan to do anything. I've been trying to give it a rest. I want to wait until the coup is over because they're bothering people. And YouTube and others have been messing with my feeds and so forth. So I didn't want to excite them. But I just had to. I have to say something about two sets of coons and enemies of the people. MFM to everybody. I just want to say that Joe Biden is the deviant in chief. If he never becomes president, he's nasty, he's degenerate, he's filthy. This decision to make Cindy Martin his designated appointee to be Secretary of Education shows his contempt and his degenerate lack of accountability and morality. He's no damn good. He's filth. He's an enemy to black people. All of you that voted for him are asshole traitors to our community and to America and to God. And it's just really, really, really a nasty, evil, degenerate man. Everything that he wants to do will bring about the increased genocide of black Americans. And he's deviant. And one of the main ways that they've been killing black people is through deviance, abortion, LGBTQ, promiscuity, drinking, drugs, so forth. Biden's job is to finish us off. And all of you dumbass black people, all of you scum in our community that wouldn't read, wouldn't think, that think Don Lemon is some sort of genius that knows what the hell is going on, or Rachel Maddow, who looks like a drag queen version of Fonzie off of Happy Days. This is a goddamn disgrace. This man wants to make a drag queen head of the Department of Education, which means they're going to indoctrinate our kids to be deviants. Okay? And a lot of black folks, I'm serious, Clyburn, I'm going to say this to y'all. In fact, I'm asking everybody, please send me a donation at uh, Dr. Randy Short, because I'm buying an iPhone tomorrow. I've got to get one so I can go on Clubhouse to talk to younger black folks, as well as help expand the Coon Buster message, because I need some help. And a lot of you boomers, damn. And some of you exes, Jesus. Okay. I'm just really upset. I'm also angry with people like Martin Luther King III. He's never had like a lot of brains. He's like, wow, he's like pork and beans without the hot dogs. He doesn't have it. I don't know what it is. I know they shot your daddy and they killed your uncle, they killed your granny, they killed your mom. But dude, uh, Andrew Yang, I mean, the same Chinese that rallied when the Chinese man murdered Akai Gurley in New York, you, forgive me, Martin Luther King III, you're dumb as hell. And you're known for being dumb. You got a good heart, but you're dumb as hell. You're sort of like the scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz. You don't have a fucking brain. And I said that. You couldn't, in fact, all of you pampered civil rights legacy niggas, y'all can't handle well academically trained people because we would tear y'all to shreds. Not because we hate you, but that you're in a privileged position as gatekeepers and you've been fucking up for 50 years. 50 fucking years you've failed us. And people try to be nice. I feel for the loss of Martin Luther King and your grandmother King and all of them that have died. But black folk have been dying 400 years. We've been dying 400 years. The world is bigger than the fucking King family. I mean, y'all putting people in a position where it's hard to respect y'all when y'all mess up year after year. And forgive me, Bernice King, you are such a hypocrite. Y'all got millions of dollars from Donald Trump. It seems like you would help the rest of us get millions or talk about reparations versus spiting the most powerful person in the country. You know, do you guys have brains? I know you got sex toys and stuff on the side, but brains. For God's sakes, damn it, Bernice and Martin Luther King III. Y'all are lucky. Y'all are living on the fumes of people's honor for your father, and to a lesser degree, your mother, grandfather, grandmother, and A.D. King. Y'all making people really, really angry to the point where they'll relate to you like they do Lizzo, Cardi B, and the other people. It's really time. King family, y'all lit this bastard. You lit this bastard, Bernice King. Bernice King, I'm speaking to you. You lit this bastard Warnock who preaches abortion and LGBTQ. Whether you participate or not and you hide yours, we don't need in a nation, a sub nation with broken families, we don't need for LGBTQ and abortion to be front and center, even if it's happening secretly, which I still don't agree with. But what kind of Christian minister are you to be silent when the church your family's been in for a century now? You have a person preaching killing babies and preaching LGBTQ across the street from the King Center. You talk about compassion. Where's your damn compassion for homeless people that are right in front of the King Center? Now, damn, I don't want to talk about y'all. I don't hate anybody, but you're pushing us. Civil rights legacy brats. The thrill is gone, baby. We're really angry. We're tired. Your indifference, your greed, your selfishness, your narcissism, your insular stupidity, your private deviancy that we put up with because we want to honor the best in your family, which represents the best in us as a people. But a line has been crossed repeatedly for a long, long time. Warnock should not have won that Senate race without a whole bunch of promises to the people of Georgia that are black. I can get it. Loeffler wasn't talking to you. Purdue, these folks are lackluster and boring, but no concessions from the gay Jew or the ACDC black, nothing. We put up with your alliance with John Lewis, who didn't do anything for the people in Atlanta. How long? How long, Boule black people? How long, Boule traitors? How long, civil rights wastrel legacies? Will y'all play with black folks who, at a point of exploding, they won't be kind? It would be very, very easy to tear a lot of folks' stuff up. It would be very easy. There's still a window of opportunity, which I'm certain you're going to violate. Get familiar with my face and my name. I don't come in hatred. I don't even come to necessarily complain. We've been riding the brake for decades, hoping that y'all would grow up, come through the healing of whatever y'all went through, because it's trauma having people murdered and assassinated in the family. We get that. But what about us? In fact, what the fuck about us? And yes, what the fuck about us I'm talking, because that's how y'all talk in private. The whole God talk shit in church, that's for the white people and the donors. The real you talks just like I'm talking. Okay? People are tired. People are angry. Martin Luther King III, that was the dumbest ass thing I've ever seen you do, aside from being sidekicks to Al Sharpton. The same kind of snitch that helped have your father killed, and that's your sidekick? What the fuck, Martin Luther King III? What the fuck, nigga? What's fucking wrong with y'all? Why? I mean, find some new people to talk to that can tell you who this person is, unless you like hanging with snitches that set black people up to be harmed. Mr. Ramsey Order, point of matter. The man who filmed the Eric Garner murder, who Al Sharpton identified so the police could pick him up and him almost die in Rikers. That's who you're running with, Martin Luther King III. Are you really committed to the black struggle? Or are y'all just some greedy pigs living off of a person who's long since been dead due to assassins, a bullet, and being smothered in the St. Joseph Hospital? I really would rather plead with people kindly, with respect, but y'all have blown it. I think the only thing that's going to make you Boule sell out, can't Dan, calf can, ass jackass Negroes understand is for us to come for you. What a damn, what a damn tragedy to have had family assassinated and murdered by racists and white supremacists, to be so stupid or traumatized or greedy or buffoonish that your own people have to come after you with pitchforks and bricks and bottles because you are so anesthetized either by your narcissism or your fame or your the fact that you've been stroked on the ass by racists for decades, so you're not in touch with reality. Nobody's asking you to get shot, to march, to get beaten, to suffer. But stop speaking for us and just get your damn money. You've made it almost impossible for people to hear the speeches of your father. Yeah, you've made so much money off of it until nobody knows who the hell the man is. The only time you speak up is when someone uses your name. Where were your asses for Flint? Bernice King, you went to Ferguson and talked shit to the people there. You could have helped them. You guys are never there for the people, and the people know it. Y'all making the King family name a joke, and you shouldn't do it. I care. I care enough to call you a bitch. I care enough to tell you that you're out of control, that you need a man, that you need God, and you need some estrogen or something. Y'all are just crazy. And in Atlanta, they don't like you. I don't want them to dislike you. I want them to honor the best in what's been produced by that family. But best wishes, love, support, prayer hasn't worked. Y'all only going to get it when people start tripping, when people throw up a picket line at the King Center, when people throw up a picket line at Ebenezer, when this starts happening at black churches, when this new generation that doesn't know Pharaoh or Joseph or anybody starts tripping. We're at a tipping point. I've sent messages through back channels for years, pleading with people. Help out. Do what you can. You don't have to be overt, but you have people living in Bangladesh style conditions across from your place of work. When my friends ask you, could there something be done for homeless? Bernice King, nigger, you said that homeless weren't part of your agenda. Well, what the hell is part of your agenda? The little camp that you have where you boast about people from Nicosia, Greece, and everywhere else coming? Why not people from Buckhead or from the rundown parts of Atlanta going to your civil rights camp? Come now. And um, I double D dare anybody say anything to me. I'm willing not to be friends to anyone in the King family over truth, over what is right, over serving the poor, over speaking up for justice, or if you want to be business people, I respect that. Stop being involved in civil rights and human rights things. Come out of the closet of being just for yourselves and say, hey, look, we're a private corporation. We want to make hundreds of millions of dollars, which I think you deserve. But stop being leadership. You don't have to lead. Get rich. Get enjoy your life. Medicate from traumatic suffering in childhood. But stop doing this. Martin Luther King III. That's a hell of a name to carry. And it's hard. But you know what? Doing dumb shit makes it harder. Okay? And if you can say something for, for Mr. Yang, you can put Bill Cosby's show back on Bounce Television. Okay? Atlanta is a cesspool. Every black community is a cesspool because you Boule people have failed us on purpose or you betraying us directly. Your time is up. It ended in 2018. You have 50 years to grow through pain, suffering, and all that, and either go into private life or go into business and make money, whatever it is that satisfies you, whatever preserve the legacy of your family, but not call yourselves leadership in such a critical juncture at this point. Chinese people don't give a damn about black Americans. Martin Luther King III. Bernice King, you guys have a statue of racist, anti-black Mahatma Gandhi on the campus of Ebenezer Church, a man who hated Jesus Christ, who wasn't a Christian, hated black people, hated women, supported LGBTQ and abortion, and believed in the caste system. And you have this up in your church. I mean, y'all make it impossible for people to not want to come at you that think. And there are a lot of people, they've been quiet, uh, probably hoping that one day y'all have an epiphany. It's not going to happen. I get it. Y'all going to need people to pop your asses upside the head. I pray to God I'm not one of the people drawn into that because I really don't want to. I'm really not mad. I don't hate anybody, but y'all are making thinking people angry. Chinese people dog black people in Africa and in China, and they dog them in America. And Yang has no real interest in black people. What did he give you, Martin Luther King III? You know, your father, God bless him, died broke, but he couldn't be bought. You are the opposite of your father, you King children survivors. Anybody can buy you, and cheaply so. Judgment is coming. And I absolutely pray to God that y'all have a change of heart because when this corona foolishness is over, and it could end in 48 hours, let's say that Donald Trump has a military government and Biden doesn't win, and this pandemic and this bioweapon shit is shut down, and people's eyes are open and they see, and they realize in particular one church that participated in the bio weapons scam was Ebenezer Baptist Church on you guys' watch. They won't have a problem with my foul language. They'll have a problem with your foul, vile, disrespectful, opportunistic, cynical, black self-hating BS. Okay, it's coming. It in fact, you'll wish to God that you had listened. It is not a threat. I don't threaten people. I promise you that the people who are black who want to exist are going to begin to go after sacred cows because they've had all this stuff happen and people would not advocate for the poor, the needy. And y'all have been handsomely paid to be a symbol of it. You don't have to do it all, but let me just make a suggestion to you, Bernice King. You, big girl. You could write a letter from the King Center asking for help to create some housing, whatever, for the homeless people around the church, and it wouldn't cost you a penny, and millions of dollars would come in. The question would be, would y'all steal it, or would it be devoted to helping the poor? Folks would willingly give money to help because of what they feel for the King legacy. The problem is that y'all don't think about the King legacy in such a way that it has utility for persons other than yourself. So all the lofty speeches and stuff that you're going and that you're saying during this King time, if it doesn't translate into changing the lives of the people on Jackson Street, which intersects with Auburn Avenue, that's across the street from Ebenezer Church and both the old one and the new one, and nearby the King Center, what the hell does all of this mean? That we've gone from the Montgomery bus boycott to the complete disposition of the bottom 90% of black people. And you guys sit back in wealth, driving Mercedes Benz and traveling the world and talking about what your father used to do or what he stood for. The thing for us is that you guys no longer stand for it, although you're amply paid for what once was done. It's almost as if the money that goes into the King Center, Ebenezer Church, or you guys' pursuits is a bribe to not serve black people who are the least of these. This represents a betrayal of your father and all those others who were killed and assassinated and bombed too. It's not just your family. You're creating a situation, my dear friends, where people like me who have compassion, although they're angry, they're not going to be nice. I've warned once. This is my last warning. After this time, after now, there's going to be an awakening among younger black millennials and those who, they're not going to have a lot of regard for y'all. And it will be almost impossible to please them because they're going to want to see a lot of people deposed, civil rights legacies and icon black folks, the Maxine Waters and other people who need to retire. They look better in a wheelchair than on the floor of Congress. We're just tired. Everybody, everybody, everybody that knows I'm telling the truth, say amen. I would have much rather written a nice letter or card and said, hey, look, let's not have this deviant be our Secretary of Education. Let's do something for poor black folks. Let's honor Martin Luther King by truly doing something for the poor people he died for. This is what I'd rather do. However, Bernice, Marty, y'all have taken that away from us. Y'all don't hear, you don't talk. Y'all too busy on the first class section of the planes and running with traitors like Sharpton and leading ill-fated marches like you had this last August, in which drag queens carrying a sign, Make America Gay Again, ran you and Sharpton's ass off of the the Lincoln Memorial, where Sharpton's ass had to flee. If that didn't tell you, the things are changing. Things are changing. Boule, y'all have been warned. Boule, people mad. Folks who lost family, folks who've been deceived about Kamala and Jim Crow pedo Joe Biden. So I'm not gonna belabor this. I'm a coon buster and proud of it, black and proud of it, and yes, a cussing Christian. And in fact, I've been given cause to want to curse every day, thinking about how people could squander a legacy of being in the family of Martin Luther King by doing such stupid, self-serving, narcissistic, Luciferian, LGBTQ abortion promoting bullshit to drive people to have to come and speak. In fact, to correct the deviant direction that the descendants of one of the greatest prophets of modern times, Martin Luther King, could be squandered by his own family. Damn. And y'all worried about us messing with his name. You're worried about the automobile manufacturers messing up his name. Y'all need to look your asses in the mirror. King family, descendants, direct descendants, I ain't talking about cousins, direct descendants of Martin Luther King. Y'all are making a wreck of Dr. King's memory. They're already taking his name off of streets and stuff. Already doing it. Do you think another generation of younger blacks who are experiencing stuff like pushing for Yang and running after Sharpton, that they would mind taking Dr. King's name off of stuff because y'all have made such a wreck of his memory and you got to be a millionaire to hear his speeches? Y'all have effectively obscured him to generations out of your greed and yet haven't lived out any of his prophetic nature in your own lives. And no one's asking you to get shot on a balcony, to go to jail, or any of that. We absolutely would think if you simply, in quiet dignity, lived out some of what your father was about, people would be so honored. But we're not going to get that. And there's a spirit, a Jezebel, and an Ahab spirit on steroids in the family. And we know how that story ends. Who you gonna call? Coon busters, brothers and sisters. I just want to say to you, people in my teeny circle of activists, we want to go down to Atlanta to confront the Boule as soon as we can. If there's a way, we want to go down to the Boule and do an exorcism. And we may just go over to the King Center. In fact, we want your prayers, we want your support. But yes, um, we're thinking about going down to King Center. We need to do an exorcism. We need to do an exorcism at the Boule headquarters. We need to start taking a spiritual and metaphysical attack on the Boule and all the legacies of the civil rights movement that have deliberately turned their backs on the people for filthy lucre. If you see me criticizing significant black people, it's not out of jealousy. It's out of frustration and rage that people won't do their best, but they will give us their worst. We black people have been trained by our bourgeois elites. We've been trained to expect the least, to receive the least, to be treated poorly and neglected. This is what Bernice King is into. And Bernice King needs to get checked. Bernice King is used to people worshiping her. We don't need to pray to you, broad. We need to pray to the Most High. I want to encourage everyone. If you know folks in Atlanta, we need to start talking about a march on the Boule. It's time for us to storm the capital of the Boule. I kind of dig on a certain level, not the property destruction, but we need to go down to the Boule and show them what's going on. No, I want to march. Hell yeah, we want to march. The march doesn't have to be a long one. If we just went down there and did an exorcism, it would rock their world because we never go and take on the black elite. We need to go after the Boule. We must attack the Boule. The Boule and its vestiges must be attacked. If you don't march, you can call, or we can find out who gives money to any institution that supports the Boule or any center in Atlanta that collects charitable funding but doesn't look out for the poor and needy. And we can make these people notice us. Not so much us, but notice the cries of the poor on Jackson Street and on Auburn Avenue and all over the country, because the Boule is an enemy to all of us. And obviously, the situation that we have now in the country, um, the boule is strongest in Atlanta. It's time that we declare war on the traitor caste in our community. It is time. Oh, no, no, no. I call no threats on anyone. I don't call for any violence against anyone. I call for people to be told that it is wrong to collect money off of the reputation and legacy of someone who cared about the people and not devote a significant amount of the resources and income that's derived from this memory to solving the problems that this great man, Martin Luther King, and others sought to help. It's how's the term? It is deceptive advertising. It's false advertising if I say I represent the legacy of Martin Luther King and I don't do things for poor people. That's fraud. It isn't fraud to receive money or to get the royalties. As I said, if people got $1 billion, I'd be happy. I'm not jealous. My only issue is if you get billions of dollars or millions of dollars in the name of someone that cared about poor people and justice, that there be a real investment of some of those resources in people in need, in particular, those right across the street from the institutions in which you work that you see every day. If you, Bernice King in particular, become so numb to seeing Black suffering that you couldn't do a memo or a letter to ask for help, you really have no business working in anything that's oriented towards people. You're just a cold fish hack. It is time for us to hate sloth, narcissism, indifference, poor leadership, and betrayal. It doesn't have to be intentional. However, a person can hit you with a car unintentionally and kill you just as sure as if they tried to run you over. It is time for us to demand that reparations begin within our race to one another. It's a precursor for demanding it from others. I'm Dr. Randy Short. What I say I stand by, irreverently yours to those who refuse to hear the cries of our people. Y'all have a good night. Bye bye.